Sacco and Feliz, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFeliz.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Well, Sunday morning. With us today is a good friend. I know him for a long time. And David Malpass, he was the president of the World Bank. And before that, he was in charge of the international portion of the Treasury Department, which handled G7 and G20. And, well, David Malpass, happy Passover, and I hope you have a great weekend with the family. But Sunday morning, the world. I mean, everybody talks about various economies, but you have a focus overall world. Give us your interpretation. What do you think is going on?
Hi, John, and very good to talk with you. Well, the world is challenged, of course, by this spike in oil prices and also by the threat of Iran and of terrorism from that part of the world. So you've got this very fast pace of change going on in the geopolitics, but also in technology. And so that's permeating the whole world. Everybody's changing really fast. And it's kind of scary while it happens. I do have to say quite a bit of the world is not as fortunate as the United States in terms of energy production and also in terms of innovation, the ability to reinvent ourselves very quickly.
Now, the price of gold is going up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, which gold always signifies that people are insecure about things going on. I guess gold is around 4,700, 4,800, 4,600. It was as high as 5,500. What do you think?
Gold reflects people protecting themselves from devaluation of their currency. So it keeps its value over hundreds of years and over thousands of years. So when there's crisis and uncertainty, people move into gold. One thing that was pushing it up earlier was in 2024 and 25, China was selling treasuries and buying gold. So there was this commitment by China and by people in China and the government to invest in gold. So that changed the price. I don't know how much of that will be long term. I make the distinction from the 1970s when there was a spike in the oil prices. There was a giant worldwide oil shock, but that came from a devaluation of the dollar when the U.S. dollar lost 2/3 of its value. So gold shot up and then oil shot up. So I don't think we're in that kind of crisis now. That really was a deep, deep set of recessions and inflation. What we're in right now is a war where they have the Strait of Hormuz closed, and I think the U.S. will be able to open it, and Europe might even help, and that would help. In the meantime, for me, it's good to see gold coming down some because I think it was in a bit of a bubble.
Understood. Now, people were telling me that the whole banking system in Iran is kaput because the internets have been down and they don't know where the heck they are. What do you hear about that?
That can happen to a country. You know, we all around the world, people in poor countries struggle with getting money. And they go back to a barter system and I'm sure that's happening in Iran, where people are desperate to get food, so they sell their furniture or their services, and so that's sad to see. It's the effect of the government of Iran, and it's very hard to run a banking system without internet and also without, and I think it may get to this in a lot of Iran, without electricity. So we can expect shortages across Iran, and that will put pressure on the government. Whether they crack down, we'll have to see what their response is.
Understood. Now, what else do you think the American people should know on a Sunday morning?
They should know that the world has lots of risks in it, and we should be grateful that we're in a country that is powerful, that's free, that has the rule of law, where things move forward, and of course where technology can be invented and used. So it's this mixed message of recognizing it's hard to make good policies, and there were a lot of mistakes made in the past that will take time to clean up. You're in the middle of one of them, which is the refineries were not being built, oil refineries, but also the nuclear power was not being built. And so I think one takeaway for people in the United States is the importance of permits, of tax incentives, and a new investment to make the economy really grow fast. We have this big opportunity for more growth measures to offset this spike in the oil price.
You're right. Now, I think the oil prices, once the war is over, I think the oil prices will go back down to normal. What else would you like to tell the American people? It's also Easter Sunday today. You're having Passover. I'm having Easter. What else would you like to say?
Well, that brings us to values. So people's values and human values and leadership values around the world are vital. And I think there has to be communication of that, why we are doing what we're doing, and then what we can do to make it better. Everybody can look inside themselves and say, what can I do to make the world better and my own situation better? I really think individualism is vital within a religious framework, that people can think about how they do it. I want to come back to, because I'm an economist, John, so I want to come back to oil. And how the invention of oil keeps reinventing the energy available to the world. And so we probably shouldn't talk about technology on this, but remember the marvel of the Permian Basin in Texas being drained, and then people finding new technology and saying we can produce oil for the whole world and have the technology to refine it, and that's moving fast. Let me end, because I shouldn't have gone down that digression. But as you think about people around the world, they're yearning for fertilizer, they're yearning for energy, for values, for guidance from their faith, and it's something to remember in a positive way today.
David Malpass, enjoy the rest of the holiday over the weekend, and we'll catch up with you again real soon.
Thank you, John.
This is Roger Stone for American Sovereign Bullion. Since 2020, the U.S. dollar has lost over 20% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold continues to rise. Call 844-272-2428 or go to asbgold.com now to get your free gold and silver guide and learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver delivered to your door or held in a gold IRA today. So go to asbgold.com now. Don't wait for the markets to drop. That's asbgold.com.